Have you ever loved someone whose love made you feel suffocated, exhausted, and lose yourself? You yearned for love, yet you always feel lonely, abandoned, and hurt. If your answer is yes, it's very likely that you are or have been stuck in a relationship with a narcissist. Leaving them is extremely difficult, almost impossible. But why is that? In this video, we will explore the reasons why it feels so hard to walk away from a narcissist. We'll analyze their subtle, manipulative tactics, the love traps they set, and the psychological impact they have on you. Join me on this journey to better understand the nature of a narcissist and discover ways to liberate yourself. Reason 1. You're trapped in the vortex of manipulation. Initially, when a narcissist establishes a relationship with you, they skillfully weave a web of dependency, positioning themselves as the sole center of your world. They push friends and family away, isolating you from other relationships, and make you believe that only they truly understand and care for you. Gradually, you become deeply dependent, fearing abandonment to the point where you can't imagine life without them. By isolating you from healthy connections, they sap your strength and make you entirely reliant on them. To you, they become everything, and even when you endure abuse, you stay because the prospect of loneliness feels far worse. You're trapped in a relationship of your own making, feeling alone even in the arms of the one you love. When narcissists sense the threat of being left, they deploy cunning tactics to keep you. Some use negative strategies, guilt-tripping, blaming, or even threatening you to make you feel fearful or guilty about leaving. Fear of retaliation becomes an invisible chain that binds you to them. They might issue direct threats or more subtle fear-inducing remarks. If you leave me, you'll never find anyone better. Or, without me, you're nothing. Such words cut into your mind like daggers, making you doubt yourself and fear a future without them. Through prolonged gaslighting, they've mastered your vulnerabilities, knowing exactly what to say to awaken your fears and leave you feeling trapped in this toxic relationship. Others are more cunning, performing a dramatic 180-degree turn, reverting to the image of the perfect partner they once presented themselves as. They shower you with gifts, loving words, and attentive gestures, making you feel like you're the center of their universe once more. You get swept up in this sweet illusion, recalling the beautiful memories and moments of happiness you thought had faded. Doubts creep in about your decision to leave. You wonder if you acted too hastily or if they've truly changed. Maybe they've realized their mistakes and are trying to fix things, or perhaps this is who they really are. These thoughts cause you to hesitate, waver, and ultimately get pulled back into the toxic relationship. These sweet illusions plant the seeds of hope, dragging you deeper into the web of their charm, making it even harder to let go. You cling to the hope of change, believing in their promises. Like a lost traveler in the desert, you grasp at the faint light of hope, even though you know it might just be a mirage. Don't look away. Let's move on to reason 2, which explains why it's so hard to leave a narcissist. Reason 2. You're holding on to unfulfilled promises. Has the narcissist ever said to you, "I'll change, we'll have a happy family," or "We just need to get through this rough patch together"? These sweet words plant fragile seeds of hope, causing you to cling on and wait in vain. But the harsh reality is that these are illusions, empty promises that will never come true. This cycle of hope and disappointment creates a psychological state of both pain and longing, making it incredibly difficult to break free from the toxic relationship. Additionally, relationships with narcissists often end ambiguously or unclearly. It could be a sudden, abrupt breakup or a prolonged, drawn-out dissolution. Either way, they leave you with unanswered questions. I call this unfinished business. Humans naturally seek closure and understanding. When you don't get satisfying answers or can't comprehend why someone you love treats you this way, you get caught in a whirlpool of overthinking, analyzing, and revisiting past events and interactions. Your emotions become a chaotic mix of anger, guilt, shame, disappointment, and a longing for them to change, to become the ideal partner they once promised to be. Unfinished business also stems from broken promises and incomplete acts of love. You feel betrayed, deceived, and afraid that those good things might now belong to someone else. The pain of being abandoned or replaced gnaws at you with tormenting questions. What's happening to me? To truly move forward, you need to confront the reality and stop fantasizing about a perfect future with them. Why do I say this? Beyond the sweet words, there's an even subtler form of manipulation: self-delusion. In these cases, the narcissist doesn't even need to manipulate you with promises. Somehow you've created an idealized future in your own mind. You take on the role of a prophet, convincing yourself everything will be okay, he'll get a job, and we'll be happy together. You cling to this fragile hope, nurturing the idea of a brighter tomorrow. But what about the harsh truth? Will your prophecy come true? Or is this just a way for you to lull yourself into ignoring the present chaos and dysfunction? Self-delusion is a dangerous trap, imprisoning you in a toxic relationship with no escape. You keep waiting and hoping for an illusory future, not realizing you're wasting time and hurting yourself. To continue on this journey, you must face a painful truth. You need to let go of the unrealistic expectations you've built about this person and the happy life you've been hoping for. Reason 3. You are facing a trauma bond. Let's first explore the concept of a trauma bond, a term that may seem unfamiliar but holds powerful sway in toxic relationships, particularly with narcissists. Simply put, you're caught in a cycle of abuse, love, attention, abandonment. That creates a psychological dependency on the narcissist. Your brain becomes rewired, constantly craving the fleeting moments of happiness that the narcissist doles out, much like an addict longing for a fix. Narcissists steal your emotional energy, turning you into a supply to fuel their inflated ego. They manipulate and control you, throwing you into an emotional roller coaster of highs and lows, from love to hate, hope to despair. You become like a moth drawn to the flame of their love, enduring pain yet unable to pull yourself away. Over time, you become accustomed to the game they impose. You seek peace, avoid unnecessary conflict, and even begin to believe that leaving them would make you disloyal or at fault. This is the essence of trauma bonding. You're stuck in the relationship because they've convinced you that leaving will bring something terrible upon you. But here's a question. What connects narcissists to sensitive souls like you in what feels like a fateful match? Could it be the unhealed scars of your past that make you a people pleaser, eager to win approval? Past emotional wounds often lead to a longing for validation, especially from those you love. You give unconditionally, expecting nothing in return, even if it means enduring pain or being taken advantage of. Narcissists are like love vampires, eagerly draining your emotional energy to feed their distorted egos. To them, you're merely an accessory or a tool to satisfy their selfish desires. They don't care about your feelings or the harm they cause. You may blame the narcissist, believing they're solely responsible for dragging you into this whirlwind of manipulation, exploitation, and heartbreak. But if you're honest with yourself, haven't you played a significant role in this love drama? At the beginning, when the signs of manipulation were faint, you chose to ignore them, convincing yourself they were just spices of love, or justifying their behavior with reasonable excuses. You clung to hopes of a happy ending, believing one day they would change and return to you with genuine love. But as the relationship deepened into crisis and their perfect facade cracked, you became afraid to face the truth. You'd grown so familiar with the emotions they brought, whether joy or sadness, happiness or pain. Like someone stuck in a swamp for too long, you lost the ability to distinguish between light and darkness, the right path to move forward. Another reason you struggle to leave a narcissist is being trapped in the doorway of the past, holding on to memories of the sweet moments you once shared. Your memories play like a slow maker reel, replaying the most beautiful scenes, a romantic candle-lit evening, a whispered declaration of love, or a cherished trip together. However, you unintentionally blur out the darker corners of the relationship, moments of abuse, manipulation, and gaslighting. You forget the painful forms surrounding those sweet candies you endured. This is why documenting your negative experiences in the relationship is so important. It acts as a mirror, reflecting the whole picture, reminding you of the suffering you've endured, and helping you stay grounded as you search for true happiness. Reason 4. You fear they will love someone else. The fear that they'll love someone else more than me can become a haunting obsession, keeping you tethered to a toxic relationship. You worry that once you leave, they'll change, become better, and love and care for someone new in ways they never did for you. The feeling of being replaced or outdone makes you hesitate and delay decisions, even though deep down you know the relationship doesn't bring real happiness. But remember, a narcissist's nature isn't about changing for love, it's about manipulation and control. Any gestures of care or sweet words they offer to someone new are simply part of their script, just as they once did with you at the beginning of your relationship. Don't let this fear rob you of your self-worth. You deserve a love that's real, a love where you're respected, understood, and cherished genuinely. If they seem better with someone else, understand that it's just a facade, a performance you no longer need to endure or feel guilty for not being chosen. Walking away from this relationship is the first step toward reclaiming your value and inner peace, because your life is not a stage for their theatrical games. Believe that true happiness awaits you elsewhere, a place where you're loved unconditionally and don't have to fight for acknowledgement. Reason 5. You're waiting for an apology from them. After leaving a relationship with a narcissist, you may carry the belief that only they can provide the closure you need. This could take the form of a heartfelt apology, an acknowledgement of responsibility, or even a sense of justice that you long for to ease the pain and suffering they caused. Such thoughts can lead you to believe that your healing depends on an action from the abuser. But only when they understand and admit their mistakes can you truly move on. This mindset might drive you to seek them out, reason with them, or even plead for the empathy you hope they will show. These thoughts can range from wanting to confront them and make them see the consequences of their actions, to attempting to persuade them to change or express remorse. You might wish for them to understand the pain you endured, hoping this will spark a sense of responsibility or compassion in them. But the harsh reality is that, due to the nature of narcissists, empathy or acknowledgement of their mistakes is rarely something they are willing to offer. They are more focused on protecting their self-payment than caring about the feelings of others. Remember this: your healing does not lie in their hands. The power to close this painful chapter belongs to you. You don't need an apology to validate your worth, nor their acknowledgement to free yourself from the emotional burden. Healing is an internal journey, one you can undertake by focusing on rebuilding your self-worth, seeking support from those who truly care for you, and placing your hope in your future rather than dwelling on the painful past. Leaving a narcissist can feel like being lost in a maze, where every turn seems to lead you back to the original pain. This sense of being stuck isn't just emotional, but extends to psychological, financial, and even spiritual dimensions. Narcissists have a way of entangling themselves into every corner of your life, exploiting your vulnerabilities and manipulating your sense of reality to keep you under their control. The painful bond they create makes leaving feel like betraying your own heart, as if walking away means abandoning the love you once believed in. But the truth is, breaking free from a narcissist is not just about leaving them. It's a powerful act of reclaiming yourself. It means dismantling the illusions they've built around you and rediscovering your self-worth, separate from their validation or approval. This requires courage, self-compassion, and often support from friends, family, or professional counselors. Recognizing patterns of manipulation and abuse is the first step toward freedom. But it's your belief in your right to happiness and peace that will guide you on the path to healing. No matter how difficult it seems, leaving a narcissist is not impossible. Thousands of people have done it and rebuilt lives filled with love, self-respect, and joy. This process might feel like dismantling a fortress brick by brick, but every step away from the narcissist is a step toward reclaiming your identity and freedom. Over time, the wounds they left will heal, and the scars will stand as proof of your strength and resilience. You're not alone in this journey. There are countless resources, support networks, and communities ready to walk alongside you and encourage you as you face the challenges of leaving a narcissist. What seems impossible today might become achievable tomorrow, as long as you keep moving forward, even if it's just small steps. Ultimately, the freedom you gain will be worth every effort, and the life you rebuild will remind you that you deserve love, not the illusion the narcissist created, but genuine love for the beautiful, unshakable person you truly are. Breaking free isn't just about leaving them, it's a journey to rediscover yourself, and that journey is worth every bit of your effort.